and welcome to Off-Grid Fort 2.0. Yeah, check this out. So that is 8 feet tall and 16 feet long. Yeah. Welded that bad boy up over a few days. I had an old fence from a studio and I just added some on there. It's a beast, I'm telling you right now. It's a beast. Breaking the add-on. Wind, so the wind loves keeping it shut most of the time. So that was in the plans from day one. I just had to dig out the parts. The parts here, that's basically what I couldn't find. I had the gate for quite a while. So I put that pad, this concrete thing bigger right there. So it would specifically have room to do that. And then I just went ahead and welded this right up here as well to give that just extra, because normally those things go down in the ground. It was pretty strong, but I mean, why not just weld it? So yeah, that was mainly, well, there's no mainly. It does a lot of things, basically. It secures this whole area, which the whole area now is gravel. I got this all graveled, which is huge. Like, it's a mess back here. Having gravel is night and day, because now whatever I put over here doesn't just get muddy. Like, Off-Grid Fort 1.0 was more of a satirical look at the condition of the situation, right? That was comedy. That was not like reality. That was like fucking, God, I need to cover shit up and I have nothing to do it with, right? So I started unloading stuff, started getting to stuff, and I came to a bunch of wood that I had, right? And so even though I had that much wood, to make that one roof thing right there, the beginning thing, it was like $400. And you know, I was like, fuck, man. That was going to Par and buying, you know, new lumber and new roofing, right? So I was like, I can't do it anymore like that. So what I did was I went on Craigslist, yeah, and I got almost all that wood. I had a little bit of it, but almost all that wood, all that pile down there, which just this pile alone is worth hundreds of dollars. Those are 20-foot 2x8s. And so then, that's not all. That door is heavy. And then there's all this here, a bunch of plywood. There's full sheets and partials, right? And all that. So for all that wood, $170. And I had to load it up, and my truck and trailer were crazy full, but who cares? I did it all by myself. The guy's like, you gotta bring a friend. I'm like, I ain't got no friends out here. What am I gonna do? And he was just a little guy. He couldn't do that kind of work himself. I did it. It was a lot of work, but, you know, I did it by myself, no problem. Then I go, and again with the Craigslist. So Craigslist, $140 for a bunch of roofing the guy used to do his sheds and his whatever, and he had it extra. There's a whole full panel. It looks like a mess, but it's just, you got to stack it like that. If you don't stack it like in a mess kind of like that, if it has water, it'll like rot in or mold or whatever in between the sheets. So, and I've already had to move those things twice. Oh, what a pain in the butt. I did that yesterday. I moved them from the ground where this post, where that post right there needed to be, that stuff was. Pain in the butt. So, that, that I did yesterday. Those two beams up in the air. And on those, all by myself. And then, actually, this one was a bit harder, that, to do, because it had to be perfectly on that, and then, you know, just at the right height. That was kind of a pain in the butt. So, but that's going to be a roof from between those two things, another roof. And then I'm kind of going back and forth on putting a roof over this area here, just because that's like my shop. So if I had a roof over there where I could go between here and there, in between, that would be awesome. Everything's a mess because they shove it under there to get it out of the weather. But this basically is my new company. That's my new business. And that is the coffee smoking company. Smoked coffee. Yeah. You like barbecue? You'll love smoked coffee. Coming soon to the middle of nowhere in Oregon. So anyway, I needed an area to do that. And just basically be able to have stuff outside without it being in the weather. I mean, it's kind of a pain in the butt to do anything if there's any sort of weather when you don't have any sort of coverage. So I basically got, I still have so much work to do, it's ridiculous. The roofs, what I'm working on currently, I get this roof done. And maybe I'll start on this one, but I need to get this container gone through and moved. So this little container still has a bunch of bullshit in it that needs to be put into that container and sorted. So, and then I might finish the roof, you know, and then I got the build out for the coffee smoke roaster. The parts are going to be here pretty soon for that, and I got to dial that in and then start that going. So really, the roof is the most important, getting it done. This one roof, you know, that was wishful thinking. That was going to $400 for a 4x12 roof, $400. But I had a bunch of wood. That's way more than $400 worth of wood up there, way more. Because like those, I have these huge beams that 4x8 beams that I already had. Like those things, a 4x8x8 is probably like, maybe like $100. So there's a lot more money into that thing than, whew. I mean, I spent the 170, the 140, and then I went to, I had a couple things left. I needed to get that 2x12x20. There was no boards that were really gonna do that run appropriately in my pile, so I had to buy that. And then I had to buy the little footing guys here, these little guys, and like some screws. So there was like another $100 and something or whatever. So a little bit over $400 I spent, and this one section of roof will be 5 sheets of plywood. This section of roof will be at least 2 sheets of plywood. So right there, I'm at a total of 7 sheets for this versus the 3 sheets, and I'm only paying like, you know, $50 or whatever. And I'm still gonna have so much wood, I could literally put even more roof over there. So, you know, it's, yeah, buying reclaimed wood and ends off Craigslist, man, I'm telling you. I mean, that's not how I'm going to build everything, but I'm definitely going to, you know, like concrete form wood, like that's perfect for reclaimed stuff. So I'm totally going to do that. Yeah, and I got a little work. I think what I'm going to use for the siding, I've got little runs of siding like up here. There's going to be a little run of siding. And the same on this end over here. Now, I didn't cut, I just used full lengths of boards. That's why there's odd lengths here, right? Like, and basically it's like, because if I ever want to take it down, like, I have those full lengths of boards because a lot of that stuff I already had. It was already cut to whatever size, bought new, you know. I don't really need to cut things to perfect length, right? So I'm going to put, I'm thinking about using, well, I have some extra metal, so you might use some metal, but also pallet wood. Just using pallet wood siding, you know, because, I mean, it's nothing major, right? And it'll probably actually look really cool. So, yeah, and then over here, there's one shipping container full of the business, and there's the other shipping container full of the business. So when that sells, then I will immediately have shipping containers, and instead of having this freaking low one over here that I got totally screwed on this one. Like, I paid for a tall one, but I ended up with a low one, and it's a long story, and I'll just spare you the story. But when it gets replaced, I'll replace it with a full-size one, right? And as you can see here, like, this one has a garage door in it, but it's so full. I mean, I open that garage door, there's literally stuff, just Tetris right up to the door, right? But when I sell this and I get the replacement models, all those two will be completely empty with doors in the sides that will give me all that more room to do stuff. Because, like, this area, like, is kind of a multi area. Like, the barn is where, like, this is what I'm doing. In my original ultimate design for the property, the barn is right here. And the shipping containers may or may not be a part of that, depending on things, right? Like, when these sells, I might not want this whole shipping container corral thing out here. I might not. I might want just a normal looking barn, rustic look, you know, or a metal, you know, I don't know. Maybe I want to keep this going on. So, you know, basically doing things over here that aren't too permanent, you know, like these aren't set in stone yet, literally. So I had to pile up there, and piling up to get this to the beam that I had, and then, you know, I'm not sure I want to do that. So that's, but anyway, what's going to do like all these, if I do keep this permanent, I'll do I'll take rocks from the property, all these cool, crazy rocks I have all over the place, and I'll build a kind of a circular form, probably like an octagon or something like that, a form, and a slip form. So you start off on the bottom, you pour concrete, and then you pack it in with rocks, and then you put concrete, and then you pack it with rocks and put concrete, and then you pull the thing up, and you just kind of do that all the way up. So this, instead of just being a bare post, if I like this and I'm going to keep it to make it just cooler and just a better place, then I'll cover all these in that way, right? So they'll be all covered in rock, and really that will give it that, I'm not worried about it blowing away right now because the weight of all that stuff up there, I mean, these big, huge boards, I mean, those are heavy. It's all 2x12, and it's going to be welded on those points right there. So, and then another point right here, it'll be welded. So I'm not really worried about it blowing away, but typically these types of things would be buried in the ground or something like that, right? And if I'm going to keep it, you know, those posts, they don't look horrible, but they don't look as cool as custom rock work, right? And that's kind of surrounding myself with stuff that looks cool is at the top of my agenda for around here. So Yep. And what else in the Fort 2.0? Off-grid Fort 2.0. I think, that's almost a wrap, I got to get in here. I got to cut all these joists, I think they are named. The boards will go in between here. And, put plywood down and tar paper and roofing. And, I might be done with this today. I don't know. It's really hot, and really hot to me is 83 and above, basically. So, I'll come out here, I'll work, I'll get hot and just sweaty and just ugh. And then I'll just go take an hour, 2 hour break. But I'll also work, I'm not a morning person, just trying to get enough sleep while it's hot like this. I have to sleep in. So I end up working a little late, in the evening time when it's cooler, which is, that's totally that's my style. So, but I might have that done today. I might not, but I needed to make a video about what's going on out here because I've been just arguing with Nazis for for a couple months and haven't done much. I did the shade video update, but that was a little one. This is kind of more substantial. I've been welding and freaking putting big heavy boards way the hell up in the air. It is just, and I'd like to get to that point where I'm doing the whole filming thing, but I explained that in another video. The difference between this, what I'm doing right here, and then using all my other camera gear, the GoPros, the Canons, the DJI, the drone, and then putting that all into an editor and putting that, it's literally 1,000 times more, maybe not literally, but to me it's 1,000 times more work. So this is working good for me right now. And it's not really getting the whole flavor of, the work and how it's going down and how I get it done and all that. But at least I'm getting it documented a little bit. And hopefully I'll be making, when I start doing some really badass stuff, I'll be doing the appropriate videos. But anyway, subscribe, peace, have a great day.